Hi everyone, this is City Scrapper. Thank you so much for joining me today for day 13 of Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches, and Scraptember 2021. You could see the beautiful sketch in the upper left-hand corner. It was created by Lottie Loves Paper, and the Scraptember prompt for today is stars, which goes really well with this awesome sketch. In any collection of 30 sketches, there are going to be some sketches that immediately catch your eye and some that are a little more challenging. And this was a sketch that I was really looking forward to working with. I love the way it's very dynamic with lots of angles and lines and stars. And I decided that I wanted my layout to look very much like the sketch. I started with a piece of heavyweight cardstock. This is 120 pound cardstock. It's smooth and it doesn't have any gesso added to it. I found the center of the page, I put a dot there, and I'm using my ruler to draw lines that are radiating out from that center point. I'm trying to follow the way that the lines appear in the sketch, and I thought it was a little more challenging to mimic those lines than I thought it would be, but through adding and adjusting many of the lines, I was happy with the placement. And I don't show all the footage of me drawing the lines because it went on for a very long time. But what I tried to do was have the lines in different lengths, and I varied how far apart they were from each other. Now I'm going to be adding some embroidery thread to each of these lines. I didn't want all of the thread to go through the center hole. I thought that would be too much pressure on the hole in the center, and I was afraid it might rip. So I am punching holes at the end of each of the lines, and also probably about ½ an inch from that center line. And I drew a few more lines where I started to feel I didn't have enough. The tool that I was just using, it's off to the right now with the yellow handle, that's a paper punch, and that was made specifically for this purpose of punching holes in your paper so that you could embroider on them. And I absolutely love that tool. I think it's Amy Tangerine brand. It came with a mat you could punch on, the little yellow mat you could see in the upper right-hand corner of the screen right now. But you really don't need that. You really just need something sharp to punch a hole through your paper. A needle would be fine. Off to the right, you can also see the stars that I'm going to be using for this layout. And those are a Paper Studio brand product. I got those on a big sale, and I thought that those would be perfect. They're a real sparkly, shiny star, and they are in different sizes. So I pulled the colors that I used for the embroidery thread from those stars. Right now I'm working with the pink thread, and then I also go back in with some purple, green, and yellow thread as well, and voila, it's done. I wish it was that quick. It really didn't take long, much quicker to make just lines with the embroidery thread than to make stitches. So it really didn't take as long as I thought. And now I'm going to start adding the stars. I started with some pop dots, but the pop dots were a little too thick, and the stars were kind of wobbling on them. So I wanted to add some dimension to the stars, but not that much dimension. So I went back to the trusted fun foam, and that was, in my opinion, just the right amount of height off the page for those stars to be. I don't know if you could tell on the video, but the stars are really sparkly. They have chunks of glitter on them. You can literally see the bits of glitter through either the plastic or the epoxy or whatever they're coated in. And I love the colors, and I thought of these stars as soon as I saw the sketch. This sketch, I feel that could be used for New Year's Eve. It could be used for 4th of July. I'm going to be using it for a birthday layout today. I'm really looking forward to using this one again. And I immediately thought to make the lines with embroidery thread, but there are so many other ways that the lines can be created. And I bet there's other things that you could put at the ends of the lines too. I could imagine putting circles at the end. I just feel that it's a really impactful sketch. And like I said, I'm looking forward to using it with a different color scheme on a different layout. I have all the larger stars where I want them. I try to space the colors around the layout. And now I'm going back in with some of the smaller stars. There are 3 different sizes. There's the big ones that are already on the layout, and there are medium and smaller sized stars. And what I'm thinking about as I'm placing them down is having a balance of all 3 sizes and all of the colors all around this big spray of lines. I was very glad that I had 2 packs of them. These were a clearance item at Hobby Lobby, and there were a whole stack of them, and I was shocked because I did not get to the sale early. Most of the clearance items were gone, and I was so excited that these were still there. I really love this kind of sticker that has a shiny epoxy finish to it. A lot of times I feel that foods like cupcakes and lemon stickers are made with the same kind of finish, and I'm just a sucker for those types of stickers. I always pick them up when I see them. Now I'm happy with the balance of the stars around the layout, so I'm using some gel glue and I'm gluing them all down. I do have to make some adjustments later on, but just a few. These are the 2 photos that I'm going to use. I cut them kind of tall and skinny so that they would fit onto the layout, and I matted them on some white cardstock, but I also want to add a color to the background, so I'm using this green glimmer paper, and I thought that this color went perfectly with the layout. And then I'm trying to choose a second color to back the other photo with. These are all papers from my scrap envelopes, and I thought that this pink paper went really well with the pink stars in the background. I'm attaching the 2 photos together, and on the left side of the photo that's on the right, there's a lot of area that could be covered up, so I layered the photos so that you could see the one on the left a little bit better, and now I'm putting some fun foam behind both of them and popping them up as a unit. The photos that I'm using are of my younger daughter Julia, and she was opening up some of her birthday presents. She has her card on the left, and I think she has some gummy something or other on the right. She just loves gummy worms and gummy bears and all that stuff. So we always include a little bit of that in with her birthday gifts. I use the ATG adhesive to attach the photos down to the background. And I wanted to put a border all around the background, so I found this purple glimmer paper, and I gutted it out, and I trimmed down the background paper just a little bit. It's just going to be a very thin border, but I just like the way that a border kind of contains everything, and it also gives it a little bit more of a touch of color. Then I went through my thickers, and I found this set that is gold, and it seems to have a birthday theme. I'm not sure, but I think it might be the set of thickers that goes with the Maggie Holmes confetti collection. And I just love the touch of gold. And I noticed that on this thicker pack, there are lots of these circular gold dots. And I thought that this would be a great addition. On the sketch, there are splatters in the background, and I don't have any splatters in my background, but I thought this would kind of take the place of the splatters. And these stickers are neat because the top of them is gold, but the sides of them are bright pink. And then after a while, I ran out of the bright pink dots that were on the thicker sheet, and there are also some that had a blue side to them. And even though I don't have any of that blue color on my layout, it's kind of a Tiffany blue color. It was the same intensity of color, and I felt that that blue went really well with all the colors anyway. It's not super noticeable, so I added all of those dots in as well. On the sketch, there's a circular element that's to the lower right-hand corner of the layout, and I wanted to include that as well. So I'm again using those scrap pieces of paper, the orange scrap piece of paper, and then I used the gutted out piece of purple paper from the paper that I mounted the layout on. So I had to make a couple little adjustments here with the stars. And I decided to just cut right into that circle so it would fit in rather than having to rip the photos totally off the background. And so that worked out pretty well. I'm using some Momenta stickers. They were birthday themed, and I liked the way they had a whole bunch of different textures on the sticker sheet. There was wood, and there were regular stickers. There was some cork. I eventually chose some phrase stickers for my layout. There were also some birthday candles, and you can see that I trialed one and then I put it back on the sticker sheet, but I do end up using them. I also tried out these birthday candle stickers that say 17 because she was turning 17, but there was something about the size of them that I didn't like. I felt that they were too small. So I went back to the candles. I put a green and pink one to the right of the photo, and that completes the layout. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching it. I hope you'll take a look in the description box. You will see links to all of the other scrapbookers that are following along with this challenge. There's a link to Christy's channel, to the Facebook group, and also to a playlist of a whole bunch of 30 Days of Sketches Scraptember videos. I'll be back tomorrow for day 14 of 30 Days of Sketches and Scraptember, and I hope to see you then. Bye-bye, everybody!